are in my brain. eBay's looking twisted. Nothing feels the same. Margins bleed like oil. My listings disappear. AI scans my soul, whispering in my ear. Silicon shadows taking control.
Welcome to your Wednesday morning, everyone. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Everybody except for David Jarvis. We don't want him to have one. We want David Jarvis to have a bad day. Flip it good. Good morning. Good morning, Chastity, Dusty, Peddling Profits. We'll skip over Davis. Eric and Ping, good morning. That's everybody early so far who has said hello. The other 18 of y'all have not said hello. Damn it. Hello to y'all anyway. Have an interesting story. I just titled this about AI because it seems to make a lot of people mad to talk about AI, so I'm going to talk about it again because, damn it. I don't think people use it for just regular stuff. Today was going to be a regular example of just something that was making me mad. And it goes, wait a minute, we can just... Corey. Don't make me get you in trouble already in the first 10 minutes of the show. Hey, good morning, Cheryl. Is it bad enough I'm the first one to comment on all your wife's TikToks? Hey, Sandy, good morning. Yeah, so hope everybody's having a nice Wednesday. So one of the things we'll definitely talk about, and it's really kicking John in the sack. If you're it's too late. If I have to point it out, Bridget, it's too late. And the DD Plus 7 is a total game changer on Amazon. And John was talking a little bit about it, why he thinks they did it. We have a difference of opinion there. He thinks returns are up. Go ahead and give your reasons why you think they did DD7, John.
DD7, there's several. The economy's their concern is the economy turning to a 2008, where businesses disappeared overnight, and they don't want to fund your returns. That is basically what it is. They feel that this is a security measure on their part. It also weeds out the non-business sellers. Let's put it that way. They're looking for people that are solid business.
Yeah, but those people go under. They go under just like anybody else.
Listen, this DD Plus 7 is straining a lot of businesses, a lot of mid-sized businesses.
It would seem to me that it would be harsher on the mid-sized businesses than anybody else, to be honest. Because I was always on that DD7 type plan. It was always 7 days after it was.
So that's a good point, Steve. It has a varying effect on different sellers. Because if you had a reserve and are closer to that, it's not going to change much about. You're already used to whatever it is. I think it goes from 3 to 7 or whatever, but it's not a big change. But you've got sellers like me and John. I don't sell it much on Amazon anymore, but I've never had a reserve. John hadn't either. If there was a game I used to play when I was a big Amazon seller is. When I was doing a lot of FBM for a couple of years, is how much can I get shipped on Tuesday up until 8 o'clock before they cut off my payment? Because once you've got the shipment in their system, they pay me. So I could sell it on a Tuesday, ship it on a Tuesday, and get paid Thursday.
Yeah, I've always been on that delayed payment. It's always been 7 days for me. So for me, I could take a daily payout if I wanted to back in the day, but I never did.
But it was a compounding effect for me. My largest vendor that I do $1 million plus with a year needs ACH now and not credit card payment. So I lose a 30-day float on 100 grand a month. I lose, then there's DD plus 7 hit. Then it doesn't sound like a lot, but Amazon says no credit cards for advertising in a week.
That kind of
Starts
blows my
at
mind
15.
that that
So
that kind of goes closer to your point where they're expecting some sort of financial downfall.
they're looking, they're looking to keep the bottom line for their stock price.
So I think the other thing too is what the big complaint is: how many more fees can they invent? This is an easy way to tune up the balance sheet with increasing the float. Because how many sellers are affected by this? Went from no reserve. Lag said they didn't have a reserve, and now they're uh,
I'd like to know how bad it affected Lag. I know he jokes about living in his,
yeah.
dad's basement in Ocean City, New Jersey, um, which we should send somebody over and knock on the door.
Just to make sure. Wellness check.
Just a wellness check, maybe. I got a few friends on the force over there that may help me. But I'd like to know how bad it affected his business, because I believe he's a bigger business than he lets on to be. I know some sellers are getting hit for 200, 300,000 in their cash flow. You got to understand, we are strictly talking about cash flow. Cash flow. This has nothing to do with profitability or anything like that.
Yeah, so it's folks. It's we a lot of stuff we talk about is eBay. The majority of anything people that I watch or deal with on YouTube or eBay, and everybody just Amazon's got a lot of rules, but it's they don't face the same things we do. They face different problems. There's problems everywhere. There's no perfect platform.
eBay pulled some stunt like this before, didn't they?
No, they did. All they did was they switched to PayPal, and then they switched to their own payment system. But it's not the stuff they do, John. Is if you got a new account, they do DD plus 3 until there's a certain amount of time, and then once you can eventually come off of it.
Yeah, oil's dropping like mad right now.
It
It
hasn't
sucks,
changed.
but he carries no debt and he has a cash reserve, so it sucks, but it's okay. Yeah, I'm in the same situation. It freaking sucks because my cash reserves are tied up in my retirement account because I'm 60 and I'm looking to retire in time. So I don't have cash laying around. I have to take it out of my retirement, but I have it, so I'm going to be okay.
Yeah, it's the oil was a temporary thing. If you paid attention, and that's why everybody's just up in arms about prices and this and that. And I'm like, if you listen to, okay, so you can't listen to Big Man Orange. You can get some clues about what he's thinking or where the direction he's going. But the one thing he told you 3 or 4 weeks ago was that they did some things that with oil to mitigate this, and he told you they are gouging. He said they're absolutely gouging prices right now, and this is what they do. He's trying to show you what the Bank of England and the people, the money people out of England that still have their claws in the United States. If you haven't understood that the deep state is the English monetary system trying to still control the U.S. after all these years, he wanted to show you that he released sanctions on Russia. He released sanctions on another company too. The world had a huge amount of oil in reserves. He freed up Venezuela to where we can get it to wherever, and so those releases, affected about. So even if you shut down the Strait of Hormuz, you've still got 87% of the oil that the world always has. Um, so this was an artificial cash grab by the oil companies, like they always do, led by the Bank of England. So it coming down in a hurry now. Imagine that it's returning to where it should be because it shouldn't have been. It was artificially high because they could rape you. Simple as that.
Not coming down fast enough. I had to fill up this morning. $44 to fill that little Kia.
That's right, Corey. Selling on Amazon is not a real business now. It's the one thing. Yeah, because they hit spams in here. They hit Primo and spam with a one of those things, John, where they had to have a reserve on an account that was 20 years old because they had one large sale. Because the customer asked to, I want to buy 10 things. Can you put them all together? And they did, and eBay hit them with a stick for quite a while. But it's not the normal on eBay yet. But eBay has threatened to go to DD plus 3 on every account. They just haven't done it yet.
I'm okay with it only because I take weekly payout anyway, so it wouldn't affect me as much. I don't go daily.
So lag. I would tell you, Gemini is just to catch them up. If you listen to some people, I tell you guys about Nate B. Jones. He had a good article about where phones were going, and I've listened to a couple of people. Your phone in the next 6 months is going to change due to AI and due to the things it can do and the way they're positioning phones.
I don't know that it'll be 6 months.
It's there. It's coming. Well, I think a lot of
the technology. I agree with you that the technology will be there, but the problem is it's going to take time to roll it out to the masses because people can't afford to, unless the phone companies come trade your phone in for free
Right.
and get the new latest AI, and your payment will go up $20 a month. People can't afford to run out and buy new technology.
But it's coming the way they changed the way things do with your phone, and it's coming. And I wish I would have made some notes about that. I'll go back and find that video. So we'll talk about it Friday night. Friday night the show will be on the other channel because I want to be able to do whatever I want to without worried about monetization or.
Well, then don't let John show up.
He doesn't really do anything to affect the monetization as long as he doesn't click on any links.
So that's Scarlett. Well, girl.
Yeah. It's hard to know who is who with these crazy at names.
She keeps changing her name.
Okay, so here's the AI. So I don't think people take advantage of AI enough. So here's my example just from this morning alone. So if you followed me on my security journey from John, that's a good segue. Thanks, John. I moved all the business, not this John, but the other John. I moved all me running my eBay stores and anything business is on Safari. But there's one thing I miss on Safari that I had on Chrome. It's an extension called context search. I've told you guys about context search.
Use it every
And I'm
day.
like, I am so tired of right clicking and nothing be there on Safari. So I asked it, I got up early this morning, so I asked it this morning. I'm like, so what are my real dangers in going back to doing at least running one of the stores on the main store on Chrome so that I can get context search back? And it talked about the extensions or the danger. It goes, but if context search is all you're missing, he goes, we can write a shortcut that does the same thing in Safari.
Yeah, make one.
And
Get
I'm like,
AI now.
it says, would you like me to make that for you? And I'm like, sure, make that for me. And so it tells you step by step and I'm like, wait a minute, I can't find this one step. Make this treat me like I'm even dumber. And it goes back and adds in a couple little steps. But now I have a right click shortcut on Safari that copy paste into eBay solds just like context search.
Isn't that awesome? Now, and you can add, I'm sure, Amazon and Google and whatever else you want on there.
Correct,
Just like
but
the original one, yeah. I like. As soon as you said AI, I'm like, yeah, I would make one.
it's
If
but it's
Safari
it's
can take extensions.
it levels up your brain, because if you can just think about this, if you have a thought about what you want your phone to do, what you want your computer to do, if you just put it in one of these AI models, and this just happened to be Gemini today, it will walk you right through it. It is insane. Um, yeah, like if you're not paying attention, and I know how much he's talking more and more about iPhones and Siri. Apple is positioning themselves in a different way than what Google has done with their phones, and I'm telling you, the iPhone is about to go from, it was terrible with AI, it was all the way behind, to being the dominant force in the way your phone operates between you very shortly. It's coming by the end of
I'm
this
gonna,
year.
I'm gonna throw something out there though. Is Apple positioning themselves for the individual user where Google has positioned themselves for the business?
That's very interesting.
When you think about how the two systems operate and are different, Apple's going towards a phone where a phone's not going to work in business. I'm not disagreeing with like is saying about Siri and Apple phone and all that, but it's Google positioning themselves to be dominant in business. Where it was Oracle for so many years, will it be Google in the next decade?
But in the smartphone market, the to me, I think the play is what you can help the consumer do. I mean, I understand the power
Oh,
behind it,
absolutely.
but I mean, if you're talking PC power and that kind of stuff, business is definitely the answer. But it's there. I'll find that article. I mean, it was very fascinating to. There was some technicality involved in it, but he did a good job of keeping it where even I halfway understood it, which is saying a lot. Um, yeah, Corey, I don't give out any kind of advice, because you,
If you take advice from me, you need more than just a warning from Corey.
but it's coming where there's a huge change, and the iPhone is. And I'm very excited to see where I'm hoping they're not going to eliminate this 15 Pro Max from a lot of the stuff they do, because it's the first phone that has some of the neural engines and will still do a lot of the stuff that AI is. It's the last in line for the AI phones, or the first in line. We will be upgrading phones this year.
I'm on the 16 Pro, so I should be safe.
Yeah, we're
I'm
gonna.
not a fan of Apple. I can't get used to using it, but I got an advantage. I'm old and I really don't give a fuck.
Uh,
So, you all can have based on your age, you have to be somewhat concerned with AI and all that. But I'm old. I got enough in the bank that I really don't need to give a fuck. And that's the way I'm viewing AI at this point. Do I use it? You know that I'm heavily involved in it. You know that I use a lot of it.
Anissa, this is the shocker. Beard has a freaking 15. I skipped 2 years. I don't know that I've ever done that before.
I kept my 12 for 3 or 4 years
I have a
until
15.
the battery started
Just think
dying.
about that.
I went from the 12 to the 16, and only because my battery wouldn't keep it charged very long. I love the 12.
So get the Brax 3. So if y'all don't know what Big Dre is talking about, the Brax 3, there's a guy who has a huge YouTube channel about security. The Brax 3 is an untrackable phone.
That's another good point. This is not going to happen overnight, guys. This is just a new. This is the for those my age and a little bit older and a little bit younger, this is when the computers came in and everybody said, "Oh, the computers are going to take over the world," and it changed how we did things. It changed. It did change the world, but it wasn't overnight. It's taken 40 years.
Okay, so it's not an over. It's not a foregone conclusion. The only thing that will stop me from getting the new phone is if the rumors of how strong. Because remember, next year would be the iPhone. They quit doing a couple. They're a couple behind, but they quit doing the middle generations and started counting each year as a number. So next year truly is the 20th generation. They'll probably skip the iPhone 19 and call it 20 because it's 20 years of the iPhone, and that is the one that is shaping up to have like a true slab of glass and all kinds of craziness like the 10 was at the time. If the 15 will hold up, that might be the thing that keeps me in a 15.
You know, I used to do automation back in the 90s. There's a program called Automate 4. You could automate a computer and imitate keystrokes by using this software. And I used to program my computers to do all kinds of work for me.
Right.
Very few people were capable of doing that kind of stuff back then. It wasn't widespread. I think the same thing's going to happen with AI. There are going to be companies and there are going to be people that really crush with AI. But changing the world overnight, I don't see it happening. Do I see it streamlining businesses? Yes, you're going to see more businesses with big profit lines going, we just laid off 2,000 employees because AI is taking over. Well, they have middle management sitting around on their ass doing nothing, collecting $80,000 a year. And they're not going to need that. So, yes, the world is going to change. I don't think it's going to be overnight. I don't think, I especially know for a fact that Todd's not going to have to worry about AI. I don't think I'm going to have to. If you're going to work until, another 15 or 20 years, you're going to have to understand it. You may have to use it, but I don't think you're going to have to be a rocket science with it. First of all, the average American only can read it to like the 4th grade level, has a comprehension of a 3rd grade. So this stuff is too advanced for most Americans at this point in time. They're going to have to dumb it down.
So the next idea I had was, which I'm going to work on after the show, is I'm like, if you can make an app on the computer, you should be able to help me make an app or a shortcut that will return eBay and Amazon prices and help me decide where to list the CD or DVD.
I did try that a couple of years ago when AI was fresh.
Right.
And it got me half the way there. If I tried it now, it probably.
Right.
I called it price compare, price something like that. And it worked. It wasn't great though. But nowadays, I bet you, I was trying to make an app for the phone. But I bet you now you could do it.
Well, the problem's going to be secure. You're going to have security. You're going to have, these sites are going to start getting secure where you're not going to be able to get in there and get that data.
So lag, yeah.
That is the big issue.
Your dad lag is one banana peel away from ending it all in Texas. Let's be for real. In that right time.
To create an app nowadays is just telling an AI what to do and it'll do it for you. And it's super easy.
I'm looking for a good
question. I'm a fall risk. It's a good thing it's spring and not fall.
What happened?
So I got to get to an auction preview, so I'm gonna head out.
Oh no.
I couldn't find any of my foghorn leghorn for you, Tom.
I'll say.
I'm so disappointed.
Okay.
Hey, when's those T-shirts coming?
What t-shirts?
You and Todd making out.
Really, John?
What? I ordered one.
Well, you must have ordered them through Scott then.
Go, I say, go away, boy, you bother me.
I'm a chicken hawk.
Anyway,
Check it out good now.
lag. Yeah, I know it's. I'm working. But it's the okay. So kind of got to think about this yesterday. If you're watching, okay, so if you want to talk about a show that's about complete nonsense, the Tuesday 12:30 reseller therapy show is a lot of nonsense. But Corey was showing a one of the things he's working on, and I'm like, it gets you thinking. You should be able to. The hardest part is coming up with the idea because these chat Claude, Gemini, whatever it is you want, and should be able to build you whatever you can think of. If you can think of it, it should be able to build it or teach you how to build it. And I don't think enough people, and even including myself, think in those ways of of taking a few minutes and brainstorming what would make my reselling life easier. What would like what things do I do every day, you know, and then have it build it for you. It's like, what do you track? I fill these out every day. What do you track on your business? I give it numbers and it tells me, like the one I'm like, by the end, I think what's my sale? My current valuation on the regular store is 47,700 in inventory, and I'm like, I would really like to be. I'd push $50,000 in listed inventory on eBay by the end of this week. At my current pace and current sales, what does that look like? And it says you need $3,825 listed this week to get there. I'm like, now I sit down yesterday and go, what does that look like with me listing? I'm like, well, damn, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday got to be heavy listing. Because Monday I didn't list anything, so I listed 1,500 yesterday, and so now what is that, 2,200 left for the rest of the week to list to hit where I think I'm going to be, and then to maintain it and to move forward, I'm going to start setting that goal every week, so it gives me in my mind something really to focus on, and I think that number is going to have to be harder and harder because the more you list, I'm telling you, the more you're going to sell. Because I sold 3 things that I listed yesterday.
Have you ever typed into Google, or I mean into GTP, GPT, whatever? What can I do to have a successful eBay business?
I focus more on tracking. I've not asked it what. Why did you try that?
I just typed it in there while you were rambling. Pick a profitable niche. What everybody sort of kind of does. Where to source, thrift, yard sales, Facebook Marketplace. Sorry, Todd. Clearance aisles, Goodwill bins. What to look for, items selling for $20 plus dollars. You can buy for 2 to 8. Lightweight, cheap shipping. Goal, 3 times to 10 times return per item. Learn how to research, blah, blah, blah.
So Craig, I've seen some of those too, and really, it really has me thinking. I'm like, I could put one of my laptops back over there to redo the shipping. Do I need to take one of these Mac Minis and just put Claude on by itself and do something like that to tell it to, and just let it go nuts in its own environment?
I've played around with that sort of thing, and it's fun. It's a rabbit hole, though.
Mm. But then I look at it and go, yeah, the only people making money at this current minute are the people who are making these videos. Because they always tell you
Oh yeah, those guys.
they're going to do this, and they give you just enough to make you think that it's a possibility. But there's these videos that I watch like that, Craig, never have any meat on the bone. It's
Those
always
guys,
there's always links in there. You can get this subscription to do this. There's always there's
if
always
those guys were really making money doing any one of those things that they tell you, why are they telling you about 600 different things? Yet they're still making YouTube videos about. They're not. None of those things are making money for them.
I know, right?
Stupid.
Corey, I'm ready for my robot that's going to help take care of me when I'm Tom's age. I want it to be sort of like, I want to be living in with the robots, but I kind of want them set up like Coming to America. I get up in the morning and the robot will tell you, the royal penis is clean, Your Highness.
I don't want a robot touching my.
You tell the dog, you tell the dog, robot, bark like a dog, woof woof, bark like a big dog, woof woof.
You're sad.
That's that's what you need right there.
I don't want any of that.
Yeah, so Dusty. There's some good ones. Like Charles Barkley. Have y'all seen? I know you've probably seen it. The one where Chuck go, Shaq go, "Hey Charles, why don't you buy your wife a watch?" And Charles will look over and go, "Cause there's a watch on the stove." No, bad jokes. Yeah, so that'd be a full-time job around here. We're the world's worst housekeepers, for God's sakes. But it's the biggest thing coming is, I think until you retrain yourself, and a lot of it is retraining your mind, because the one thing I've been reading a lot about is your words have a lot of power over you. That's why every time the stuff that I've been reading, every time I hear Steve tell himself he's lazy, I just want to reach to the screen and just punch him right in the face, because
You should do it.
you are who you say you are, and so
Yep.
you become. I'm one of my biggest ones is I struggle with remembering names, and so I identify as someone who doesn't remember names instead of doing so. You know,
By the way, I'm getting
I
much better
believe
with
your
that.
words have a lot of power. I believe, yeah, that we are who we tell ourselves we are, and you live up to that. And
I
to the point,
100% agree. I'm getting
to the,
better, but it's
to the point. So I've been listening to a pastor, Otha. Well, I don't know what Otha's last name is. He's a black.
Jones.
No, he's not Jones. He's a black pastor.
I just made that up.
Really smart guy.
Do you know the secret to being fearless?
My phone is connected to the speaker over there. Sorry.
Oh.
He's from Lionheart Church, Pastor Otha. That's what he looks like. And he really talks about the power of words and some of the things you say to yourself, you're actually putting negative spells on yourself. Very, very interesting stuff.
I used to sell insurance. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Combine Insurance Company, but
No,
it's a
just
door-to-door insurance type sales. Every single morning, you had to go to a meeting, and the meeting was always about positive mental attitude. You had to do exercises to get your mental attitude in a positive. I hated those meetings, but they were very helpful when you think back on it, because it made you think differently about the day ahead. And I got away from that for a lot of years, but now I try to think about positive things every morning.
But it goes along with the same thing with the mental. What's it like the book, The Gift? A lot of the you create the world you live in. You create your own circumstances by putting it out there and manifestation and that kind of stuff. And I think that at some point you do create what's around you. Just think about the. I give you a personal. My childhood was horrible. When the parents were divorced and all the crazes that went on. And I swore that would never happen to me. And so, that was one of the things that was ingrained in myself that I ingrained in myself over and over. And my brother, on the other hand, has lived it. He's on wife number 3. Yeah, number 3. And it's been carrying on. His first wife, they ended about like my parents did. It's. And it doesn't make him a bad person or anything. It just means that if you're not careful about the circumstances that you're in and the things and you manifested the basement and it works. Nice.
It's taken me a lot of years to realize that I
Oh, wait
say
a
a lot
minute.
of things about myself that I shouldn't. And
He's back.
Go, I say, go away, boy. You bother me.
But it's an interesting study. So
he's
if you
muted
if
too.
that's even better. I'm gonna manifest me a bacon, egg, and cheese here in a few minutes, lag. And if I can get Joni to make it even better. I woke up this morning. So the other thing I'm trying to do is get up earlier because
Oh,
yesterday's a great example. Yesterday I woke up at 5:37, 36. And I'm like, I can go back to sleep for another whatever, or I can just get up and get this day going. And I've been wanting to do that. So let's see if I can start. Because the one thing I know, if I get up now, I'll be tireder at night. And so what happened, I went to bed last night at, I don't know, 10, 15. I went to bed early. Johnny goes, are you really going to bed? I'm like, yeah, I'm really going to bed. And so this morning, I wake up early again. And she had said she had a doctor's appointment. And that she was going to be the one that woke me up. And I look over it because the phone is an alarm clock. I look over there. I'm like, Johnny, 6:07. How early were you getting up? What do you mean 6:07? I'm like, it's 6:07. And when you tell me you're getting up early, what time do you set your alarm clock for? 4:30. 4:30 p.m.
I got to ask you a very important question, Scott. This might be the question of your lifetime, and I hope that you got a good answer for me. How was the lemon pound cake?
It was here for a whopping 27 hours.
It's good though, I bet you. It looked
Johnny
good.
had Johnny had one piece, Jacob had two, and I had the rest. That's why she doesn't make that very often because yeah.
Yeah, we try to stay away from that sort of thing here too because between the two of us, it'll be gone in, you make a big cake like that, it'll be gone in a day or two. And
And now I keep getting all these every time Johnny sees one on TikTok or wherever I get ones like, can you believe this is what they call an excuse for a pound cake?
hey, I just won something. Nice.
What did you win?
Let's find out.
Especially when that is the one that Johnny made for me.
An Amazon gift card.
In case y'all missed it.
It is a beautiful looking cake.
Uh,
I saw that picture. I'm like, oh yeah, that's
Is that lemon?
yeah,
lemon pound cake.
she normally makes it lemon blueberry, which would have been amazing. And she's like, it needs the blueberries. I'm like, Afro Man did not say that he looked at his mama's lemon blueberry pound cake. It's lemon pound cake. So the next one she makes will go back to being blueberries, but
I bet you either way, that thing is delicious.
it was absolutely amazing.
Oh, well, that's Joan.
Yeah, he's on the phone anyway, so I'm sure he did it on purpose. But I think that's the problem is, as the words that natural curses, I think we put on ourselves because we don't understand the power of words because they change the meaning of things it's downplayed about how important words are in your absolute daily life, especially with self affirmation and stuff. So it really takes as you need to retrain your mind. It really needs. We have been beat down so much that we are only here to do a job, and the training that you have all your school days and all your that you're just an employee that you now live in a time where if you think of it, we have been taught not to even think outside the box. We have been taught you've got to conform, you got to conform, and now you're to a point where anything is absolutely possible, even if you have no clue about it. You have such power at your fingertips with these AI models. A good example, the van the other day died, and so I jump started it because I've got an alternator going bad, and I've got the alternator. I haven't had the time because it's been raining or cooler, and I'm going to put the alternator in Saturday if it doesn't rain here. But and so I put the little jump box on it, and I go down to the storage building. Everything's fine. I go to leave the storage building, and the van's still dead. So I jump it again, no problem. And it's turns out there was some corrosion on one of the cables that was giving me issue. It wasn't actually because the alternator's been charging. You just can't skip 3 days of driving. So I went to put the window down to punch the code to get out of the storage bed, and the damn right window wouldn't go. My driver's side window wouldn't go down. I'm like, that's weird. And so I get home and I'm like, where's the fuse for this window? Because it won't go down. And it tells me what the fuse location is by my knee. And so I go check it. I'm like, well, the fuse is good. Now what? I said the back window on that side won't go down either. And it said it could be the switch. And I'm like, it ain't the switch. It was just working. I don't think it's the switch. I said, give me some other possibilities of things I can check. And so there's a way to reset the window by how high and low the automatics. If you didn't know that, your auto windows, your like if you auto up and auto down, they don't. You can by holding by each one is different, but the Toyota is hold it down 5 seconds, hold it up 5 seconds, and it resets the window. So I went and tried that. That didn't work either. And they said one last resort you can try before replacing the switch is disconnect the battery for 5 minutes. Maybe in jumping the car, it did something to one of the electronic modules where it needs to be reset.
Makes sense.
Guess what fixed the window? And I never would have thought.
You turned it off and turned it back on.
I
Pretty
so
much.
but starting and undoing the car didn't do it. It had to be completely disconnected. And
It totally makes sense if you think about it.
no, it does. But it's the power. There is so much, and I ask it. A lot of people treat the AI as just a fancy search engine, but to get it to solve problems, I'm advancing from. Whenever you tell me to fix something, I'll go watch the YouTube video. But tell me which of the videos I need to use. What am I actually looking for? What are the possibilities? Help me troubleshoot this thing. Whereas, just think of if you take your car to a dealership, unless they fix it, they're going to charge you a diagnostic fee. So any of that work you can do.
Yeah, you can get one of the little handheld diagnostics, a really good one for about $150.
Yeah,
And
a cheap one.
Yeah, well, you can get a cheap one too, but
Works.
anytime an engine light comes on at our household, my son's out there plugging his.
Yeah, I've got the real
Unlocking
cheap
it
one,
to
but
it.
you're probably talking about the ones that got the screens on them that go through all the systems.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I've
got
seen
one of
that.
those.
I got one of the one of those bin stores, and it works just fine. It gives me a code, and I can go look up what the code is. That's all I care about.
And always take it to AutoZone before you
It'll let
have
me
'em-
reset things.
Yeah, take it to AutoZone and let them check it out before you take it to the.
I have a very trustworthy mechanic, so if I do it and then something that I can't fix on my own, I take it to him because I know he's not going to screw me over.
But the power of
positive thinking.
the power, especially with these
Been
AI.
using
So
them for years.
And so I think I talked about a little bit one of these shows. Maybe it was the podcast. I talk about so many things about this. I forget where I'm at. Is how did I know if my goal is to get to 50,000 listed by the end of the week? You know, do you want to leave it to yourself? How do you Beard? I list 10 a day, and that's what I do. How do you know that's good enough? How do you know that's going to reach your goals? Where these AI models, especially Claude, has the power to. They all do it, but the power to crunch numbers and find trends. And you know, one of the things that I'm doing the next evening I have is probably going to be this weekend. I wanted to analyze my sales from the first quarter and give me, the best selling items, the most profitable, and, a list of things so that, you know, things that maybe I shouldn't buy again. What are the worst items that I sold? What are the worst performing? Analyze and what's the longest items that are in the store, stuff information that you can put at your fingertips to help you make better decisions about. Um,
Do you you have to you have to give whatever AI you're using the data from your sales and whatnot first,
right.
right?
So it's here's how hard it is. So Tom, that's where most people would stop. Most people would go, well, I don't know what information it needs in order to give me the. First of all, just tell it this is the
That's
information
good.
I'm looking for. What reports on eBay do I need to give you for you to 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 analyze and give me the answers? And it will say, I need this sales report, I need this report, I need this report. And if all you have to do is download them, Tom, and upload the reports,
Right.
and it'll go about doing whatever it is. So, too many people put, I wanted to do this, but I don't know where to start. Starting is just by typing to the thing, telling it what you want. I can't build a prompt. You actually telling it what you need, whether in a rudimentary way, is building a prompt. And the more information you can give it about, okay, so I've started a little bit about the one about giving me both prices, and it started by telling me that seller amp or seller amp or one of them has some of that. If with scanning barcodes has a eBay magic or some button that can do it. But but if you're looking to do it for free, here's some more options. And I told it, and because it mentioned Scoutily, and I'm like, I've got Scoutify too. Does that change your answer? Fundamentally changes my answer, and it's starting to build in, how to use Scoutify 2, the $14 program that I already use.
Here's the problem: you can start building this app on your own, and you won't need to pay for the. Now they do
Correct.
use APIs. The problem with you building an app on your own is the same thing that Josh has with Just Easier is the APIs. So that is a thing that you run up against. But the thing is, you can build that on your own now. It didn't used to be that way. So people are going to build their own stuff and not have to pay for expensive apps and
It's
things.
because the podcast we kind of made light about, you know, there's been a couple of people commenting, and y'all know that I'm not. A couple of people comment negative to me is probably gonna make me do it more. I'm not gonna do it less, but guys, we need to talk less about AI. It's more like an AI podcast. I'm like, so let me think. Let me think about this. Right, we've got a couple, three people complaining in the comments who are anonymous. We don't know who the hell they are. XYZ372 whatever. Um, it's bitching about AI. What is the number one thing that's going to change your business in the next couple of years, whether you like it or not, whether you want to hear me talk about it or not? What is the most? It's going to have the most profound effect on what you do. But yet we don't want to hear about that because, you've got four sellers that are all using it in a completely different way. Josh is building out him and his team are building out a huge business. Two of us are using the business to build. By the end of next week, my media store will be 100 grand listed. Just me and Jacob. 100 grand of listed inventory in 7
That's
months.
crazy.
And what's your sell through rate?
26% somewhere in there.
which is pretty damn good for.
It slowed down sometime, and so now I'm having chat come up with. So here's a good one. You know, you hear John tell you that he builds all his listings with AI, and he does all this stuff manually, and he takes all his listings, divides his store by 30. Every day he starts his day by going over the ones that are going to be 30 days old to keep everything fresh and change the price, change whatever. And I asked it, I'm like, I've always told him, man, that lost a lot of work. So I asked my GPT, I'm like, this is what my buddy does. Is it a good idea if I use it for my listings that are 90 to 180 days old because they are listed as stale and old on eBay? And it, to my surprise, it come back and said, that is actually not a bad idea if you can come up with a work, because I wouldn't suggest that you do this 7 days a week. But if we can come up with a way that you effectively do this a couple times a week, I can see in building this into your processes as a part of a system that helps you deal with listings that are at least 6 months old. Whether it's a new title, whether it's a new price, whether there's better pictures, whatever it is.
I can tell you, because I've been going through all my old inventory, that changing something, and it can just be a price, it can be a couple words in the text, it helps those things sell. Not all of them, but recently I've been going through all my old inventory because things come up missing all the time. I found a whole bin of DVDs that wasn't even listed. They were listed at one time, so that's why I started doing it. But you can, if you change anything in those listings, it refreshes it somehow in the eBay system. Especially changing the price. That is even if it's by a penny.
And so you've got four guys that are using it. You got four guys that are using it different. You know, Primo and I are similar, but even then not, because the one thing, he's not using the Flex, and I'm using the Flex to build all the listings on the other store. And so you've got four experienced sellers with a ton of experience. You know, I've been full time since 13. Primo has always been a seller. John has messed around with it for quite a long time, and you've got someone with a crazy outside the box thinker as Josh, and you want to put handcuffs on this group and say, this is the biggest thing affecting this industry in the last 30 years. Don't talk about that.
Here's a good response. Quit watching.
That's what I said. I said that. I'm like, maybe we're not for you. If that's what you're looking for, go look. Trash to Cash. I can suggest Trash to Cash. Kevin, those guys, they are really good dudes, and they are very lighthearted, and they touch a topic here or there. But if you want to learn how short they think Kevin is, and how scatterbrained they think Dave is, and listen to Corey talk. Not to Corey, but what's the name, talk about cards. Man, by all means, maybe that's what you need to listen to.
Some people just want you to sit there and tell them exactly what to do. Here's what you need to go out and find.
Yeah.
This is what you should price it at. This is what's going to sell, and that's all they want. They're in it for how much money that they think you can make them by giving them free information. And if you're off that topic, they don't want.
It's not Corey. It's what's his name? What's the third one on Trash to Cash? Or American Arbitrage, or whatever his name is. Somebody tell me in the chat. My ADHD is not allowing me. Carrie, not Corey. That's it. I was close. Dang, Corey. You're too sensitive. Ever since you ate that, I think you fundamentally changed your DNA when you ate a peanut butter and egg sandwich, and now you're just angry all the time. What the hell?
Speaking of those guys, Dave's come up with. Have you seen that app he came up with?
Grosso HQ. No, I'm working on.
Decent.
I'm testing. That's a great example right there. He put his head down and he said, "What, 4 days took him to create this? Just constant work for 4 days, and comes up with a website that helping people in this group."
I don't care what you think of Dave, but he's one smart cookie.
No, he's definitely a smart guy.
He comes across as a goofball, but
that's on purpose. Don't miss that. I think that's on purpose.
Which Dave?
ADHD Dave.
Okay.
Dave IRL.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dave IRL. Damn it.
No,
Same Dave.
Dave, that's on your show.
No,
What's it? What's
that's
his?
that's Dave Harrington. That's Smoky Dave.
Oh, Smoky. Okay.
You already got a code? Jeez.
Hey Corey, do you have to sign up for the pro thing to get a code? Or how do I get a code? Because I should at least be having a code on my own show, for God's sakes.
Corey, I got a question for you. Uh, when you are doing your initial connection to eBay, you've got an app, you want it to connect to their information, user accounts and whatnot. Do they talk a lot about creating lag?
Oh God, we got one lag. Do we really need two lags?
Not lag as in the 40-year-old mother, 43-year-old mother of three.
Well, you ought to clarify that when you say that.
Yeah, I know. I should have. Because a buddy of mine he works for a big company here in the U.S. and he's head of their IT department. And one of his people created a app that when you're on call, you use this app and it automatically checks all this stuff to make sure everything's going good. And he said it's a really great app, but he said it runs in the background all the time. So he's got 40 people running this app that's constantly pinging their servers, and it was really affecting their response time. So I was just wondering if that. Shut up, Kent. I was just wondering if that was something that they talk about. You can't do anything that affects our return rate.
I don't know any of those answers.
That's the reason I was asking Corey, since he's
I know.
dealing with them.
I don't know if he's actually using. Well, he has to be using APIs and stuff. That's the biggest issue for me with trying to build an app like that.
Okay.
Is the
All right.
APIs. Where did that come from? What is it from? Oh, black cap.
Inquiring minds want to know stuff. Because you got to admit, when Josh, or like Scott, if everybody's throwing 100 listings up at a time, and all of a sudden, I know it doesn't happen all the time, but let's just say everybody, you get a bunch of people throwing up a bunch of listings at one time. It's got to slow the system down somewhere. Scott, some North Carolina news. They've turned down two, is it AWS warehousing here in North Carolina because of the amount of power it'll pull.
People don't realize that is a huge problem. As how are you going to power these damn things? They're trying to put them everywhere.
There's legislation, or not legislation, but stuff in Ohio. Ohio's a good place to put stuff like that, but nobody wants it.
The one that they were wanting to put up in, which would be good for the county, it's like between Charlotte and Raleigh. One of those counties that is just there. They want to put one there, but they would have to have a solar field that would be like 40 acres of solar panels just to offset it during, the daytime when it's the busiest time for power usage. Yeah, I saw that, Dusty.
All right, so let's tell Kevin that because since Dave doesn't pay attention to a lot of things.
Oh, that's a lot of typing.
Y'all have a lot, but y'all have a lot of sunlight out there. So if they can get the panels put up, that is offset a lot of the power usage, Dusty. But
The
hell,
problem is the solar. I told y'all how big the one they want to build in Alabama is. It is.
I, for one, welcome our AI overlords.
well, there is a company that is just a data center for. They're building their own data center, and they're building it underground.
4,500 acres. A,
That's a few.
they're gonna put panels. They want to put panels on 2,000 acres.
Amy, have you seen the one that's over near Hickory on 521,
That's,
right
that's
above Lincolnton? Is that 521 or 321?
I think it's 321.
Yeah. Uh, it's
I didn't
huge.
see it. I just went that way.
yeah,
didn't pay
Eric.
attention.
The problem with in a lot of places too is especially these tornado prone areas. Did y'all see what happened? I think it was in Mississippi. There was a solar farm that got hit with one of these, wherever it was. I mean, it looked like a tornado going through a trailer park. For God's sakes! I mean, the panel. It absolutely. If you're dependent on that, and it comes to, then what happens? So if they want to build a 2,000 acre solar farm on 4,500 acres near Montgomery, Alabama, look it up. Alabama is in the top 5 states of states hit by tornadoes every single year. I don't. How smart is this? You know, when we lived in Tuscaloosa, Tuscaloosa has them in Tuscaloosa County a minimum every other year. You, it'd be like building one in Oklahoma for God's sakes. Look at Oklahoma. Look at, I realize how big Texas is, but it seems like every storm system out there starts in Texas and works its way up through Oklahoma, and then back down through Arkansas, Mississippi, into Alabama on its way back up to Tennessee and out. I mean, it's the same path all the time. You think these data centers are so think about this. Alabama has the third or fourth highest electricity rates in the nation. The lovely TVA and
That was
Alabama
quick.
Power are currently sticking it to the fine citizens here of the state of Alabama. Okay, so your refrigerator is now more efficient than it's ever been. Just think about every appliance. They've had you go away from incandescent bulbs, which, if you look into the light put off by LED versus incandescent bulbs and the blue and the carry on and what it does to you, there's that. Go down that rabbit hole for me. But, so all your lights are more efficient. So why are we spending so much more money? Your power bill never goes down no matter how efficient your appliances are, no matter how efficient everything is, your power bill continues to go up. Imagine that. You think these data centers are magically going to be the answer?
Uh,
Corey, they got to, man. You know
We have
what the
nuclear
story?
here.
You know how to solve a lot of the world's problems? All these green energy people, you just get rid of them.
We're running. I think we're running off nuclear power from Perry Nuclear Power Plant, but which is only about 40 miles from here.
we have one here that I can, during the winter months, I can look out my backyard and I can see the steam plumes come from the nuclear plant.
Steam's kind of neat to see, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's a nuclear plant, but it's a steam
It's
release
just
from
water
the
vapor.
coolant. Yeah.
Yeah.
They it doesn't run half the time Because we've got so many hydro plants on the system around here.
Hey, there's 98 people here. You want to watch that number go down? So Dusty, the
Don't do
moon.
it.
If you think they're going around the moon right now, bless your heart. Bless your heart.
Well, no,
I
they're
was
not going
watching a
around it
video
now. They're on their way
yesterday of
back.
they were analyzing the feed they were showing for the past couple of days, and they got stuff floating around. And one of the things this is Johnny's driver's license, by the way. Y'all, y'all can see her picture before she sees it.
I just got mine in the mail yesterday.
So this thing of supposedly food floats by the guy's face, but the problem is when it gets right here, it doesn't bounce off. You know what it does? It goes through his face and comes out by his ear. You go, that green screen didn't work so well, did it? Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
Well, we know how you stand on the moon trip, because by was it 2030 we're going to have a base on the moon.
I think I sent you some of that last night, Jacob, when I was looking at some of it.
What do you think about because Elon is after after Mars. He's not too interested in the moon. They're getting ready to send somebody to Mars.
I would trust before I trust NASA and any of that craziness. I would trust Tiger Woods as my chauffeur serving Mexican tap water. What else can we throw in here? There's a whole list of stuff we can make about all the things we would trust beforehand. So I've never used SellerApp. So who increased their price to keep it? So I just don't sell on Amazon that much anymore. And so Dave and I were having the conversation the other day about do I even pay for the pro seller account anymore? Because
Oh my God.
fuck. That's Dave's favorite sound.
Hey man, I went to the moon last night. It's real.
You go to the moon every night, don't you?
Whether to pay for the pro seller, I sell so little. Do I even pay for the pro seller account?
Whoa,
And
whoa, whoa,
I
whoa.
have some ungatings that are really good. I even though they've taken a lot away, I still have Lego.
I wonder if I still have Lego.
Don't kill it, man. Don't kill it. Don't do it. I've been on him.
And so I've not used Seller app, but I'm going to look into it today because it was one of the things that was suggested.
Where'd Jacob go? What the hell?
I don't know.
He saw you
I come in, he leaves. What the hell?
I don't know. He might.
And so I don't have an opinion. Dave, do you have an opinion of Keeper versus Seller app? If you ever used Seller app?
I never use SellerAmp. I use AZ Insight and Keepa. I like AZ Insight.
Hey, here we go.
Zan, whatever the hell you call it.
Don't worry, I got you.
Let's see if I got Lego still.
Oh, that's priced Amazon.
Oh, that's the
Holy
wrong
heck.
one. Let me get to the right.
I think-
Let me get.
I think I lost most of my good ungatings when I lost my professional account.
See, don't do it.
Well,
Don't do it. See, Jacob agrees.
I couldn't afford the $40 a month if I wasn't selling anything.
Scott, you lost a few more of your ungated
No,
items,
not
didn't you?
approved.
It's cheap. Oh, they did raise the price, but then they hooked you up if you
Or
bought
if
the
I'm
year.
still good in
I just bought the
Nintendo.
year. Yeah, you got
Okay,
it.
so I went into my eBay thing, and we're currently waiting for the response from ChatGPT to. I'll tell you what it tells me about which. I told it which one is better, Keepa or.
I think keep it personally. I mean, I've never heard anybody rave about the other.
So if we would give it just a moment to answer. Here we go.
Corey. Oh, wait. Are you
Seller
going to
amp.
bring Jake in?
He's in timeout.
No, the hell with Jacob.
He's in timeout. Only we can hear him.
He's the only smart one on this panel, except for Steve.
You're not wrong.
Are you trying to show us what you would look like if you were a chick? Is that a hair behind you? What is that?
Oh yeah. He's trying to make
Oh yeah.
everybody.
So okay. So I'm gonna read. I'll read you to what it tells me in just a minute. But so my brother, just so y'all think that I'm not the only crazy one in the family.
Not the only one?
My brother
cut
is
the
currently
whole-
on his way driving from. He left mother's house in Wilmington, North Carolina, 8 miles from the beach, and he's driving to Alaska and back. He's over the summer, and he's currently out west. And he sent me this picture, which Devil's Tower, and he calls me. He says, "We've been here all day. There's no way that wasn't a fucking tree."
Bom, 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 bom.
That's right. That's right.
Bom,
Definitely
bom,
a tree.
bom, 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 bom. Come on, you're in the mood.
For those of you on Devil's Tower really was.
You need to make a replica of that out of mashed potatoes.
So Chastity's been. So the ungated account is worth tens of thousands if you sell it.
Yeah, put that
used to
comment
be.
up. You need to put that comment up so you remember. It's like
I've really been. I mean, because I sell so little on Amazon and have no desire right this.
even Blockbuster chimed in. Put that one up. See, same thing.
Google said seller amp enter Keepa. Is what he uses. Canceled Keepa last year.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not heavy Amazon, then you don't need it, But
But if you're
Then you
if
cross
do
it.
that thing that you talked about, you need Keepa specifically because of the way that it can do data sorting.
Yeah, I utilize it back through other platforms too. So I mean, it's good to know what's.
All right, so let's read you what it says. It says, "Seller amp is better in your case. You're a speed plus decision operator, not a deep analyzer." That's true. Seller amp, faster scan, better for yard sale thrift, cleaner buy, no buy signals, built for real time sourcing flow, less friction equals more throughput. Keep advantages, but less relevant to you. Deeper historical data, better for long term trend analysis, more useful for advanced Amazon sellers. In reality, Seller Amp is an execution tool. Keepa is an analysis tool.
Yeah,
You, for speaking to me, need execution.
that's why I run both.
If you're doing Frog plus the daily habit, choose the tool that removes friction today. The 1% improvement would be eliminate tools that slows decision. That's how Seller Amp fits in your business. So people ask me, how do you use Chat GPT, Beard? You talk about it. There is a real case scenario. That answer would be different for Jacob because Jacob is the deep thinker. He likes those trends and stuff. You know how many times I've ever used that in all the years of carrying on?
Yeah, but you have ChatGPT now that
If I would have used that today, it would have been the first time.
Yeah.
And that's just not. It's and ChatGPT has 4 months now of me telling it how I do shit.
Blockbuster, you're not wrong. You never know.
I want Blockbuster to make sure he knows how I feel.
You had to see it coming.
That's the problem with YouTube is a lot of time I brainstorm and I talk about ideas here and it's what it's what helps with dead space and other things, and I'm not going to be afraid to try something. I'm not. If there's a trend,
Got to.
this is a trendy business. There's lots of things opportunities. You know how many people told me I shouldn't have chased the starts last year?
Yeah, not me.
In 10 weeks, make $25,000 in sales. You shouldn't be doing that, Beard. It's a distraction.
I encouraged you.
Taste the what? Did you say the starts?
Starch.
Scott asked me, should I go out and go to these 3 stores? Hell yeah, dude! I can't believe you're not in the van already.
Yep, exactly.
Don't ask me. I'll
And
send
I've
you up
been
the
good.
road.
I've been good
How
this
many
year.
are there there?
Blockbuster, I've been good this year. I haven't tried anything new in 6 months, 7 months.
He actually has, and you got to.
I've been dedicated to the media store, but you see how the haters, they just roll out and carry on. Damn it!
Yep.
And
We still love you, Beard. Don't worry.
I'm just messing with Amazon Seller 99. He's been around a long time.
Yeah.
He's a good dude, but where's the fun in that, right? I've been good. I committed to the end of the year. I made it there, and I committed a long time because, even though the media store is down right now, I think it's just a temporary blip. The physical media is such a trend right now. I've actually done fairly well. I've actually done fairly well. What's the one thing that I have wanted to do very badly that I have not done? There's no 3D printer, including leaving one at a thrift store yesterday. For God's sake!
Oh my!
Oh yeah, what kind was it?
They wanted 65, so it'd have been 30% off.
Probably an Ender 3 or something.
Yeah, it was an Ender 3. That's what it was.
65 is about what the resale value on those is right
now. No, but it was 20. It was senior day, dude. So it would have been 25% off. So it would have been.
You could have bought it and then resold it on Facebook Marketplace for maybe.
You could have sold it to Steve.
Yeah. No, I don't want that one. I'd sold mine.
It'd been like $48.
It's good for people who want to really learn a 3D printer manually.
I got you.
That's what I was about to say, Scott. That would have been
machine.
That would have been a good machine for Scott to
it would have been
play with. But he would with his obsession. With his obsession, he would. That's all he would do.
Fucking leg.
By the way, have you seen?
We already tried with Walmart.
Live auctions, Scott.
How about that? What?
TikTok Shop now has live auctions. You can purchase live auctions on TikTok Shop. I think that's one of the things eBay was trying to get ahead of. Is I think they knew that it was coming. But yeah, you can do live selling on TikTok Shop.
How do you have to apply for that? I have a TikTok Shop, but I don't have.
I don't know
anything on it.
I just saw it yesterday for the first time.
I'm gonna have to look into that. I think TikTok Shops would be a great place to auction the 3D print stuff.
Cool.
I really do.
Yeah, but it's not senior day anymore, so it's back up to $65.
Our senior day is Monday. I actually finally got a senior discount because it's 55 and older.
Well,
they've given it to me before, but
you get the seasoned citizen now, don't you?
If you hang out with older people, so Tracy's a couple years older. And they'd give Tracy the discount in front of me, and I'd walk up behind them, and they'd just ring up senior discount, and I wouldn't correct them. So I've been getting it for several years now.
I had to pay for my wife's stuff because, she doesn't look as old as I do. So she got the discount too, even though I paid. It was her card, but
there's a ton of opportunity, and I'm still committed to the. So thanks for noticing there, 90 Blockbuster. I'm still committed to the media, and I know I'm pretty confident that you're a media seller as well. There's plenty of opportunity there, and there's plenty of room for my improvement. And that I have not got the. So here's the problem with me changing right now. I don't feel like the systems are optimized yet for that store, and until I get to that level of operations, and I'm not willing to walk away from it. So.
I know that's sure. You want to continue working on what's working, and maybe not mess that up, but maybe add something later if you so choose. But yeah, definitely don't mess up what you've got that's working so well.
Yeah. So the idea is any new media. So Amazon, do you do your books FBA or FBM? Because
the problem is the fees on Amazon are
it's really not that. I mean, you just can't sell any low value media on Amazon with that $1.80 fee. It just cuts into the profit margin. If you're selling a $10 CD, it doesn't work.
Right.
And then if you get into FBA and you got inventory placement and the cost of shipping the box in, by the time you do that, you've added 60 cents a unit.
So what's your bottom line on a CD on Amazon then? What does it have to sell for?
I'm getting ready to start implementing that, where I'm going to cross list. and I haven't quite pinpointed, but I'm guessing probably somewhere around $15 or more, or it probably doesn't make sense.
I'd say
I mean, it'll be merchant fulfilled, no FBA. I'm not sending anything in.
So that's why I want a system that really, so that's how do you you know, it's not me doing something else. It's how do I optimize this media system so that it sells eBay, Amazon. I think that's the play versus me trying something different, trying another platform,
What I'm working on.
is to optimize with what I've got to deal with.
Yep.
Uh,
So I've been working on for weeks, man. I'm gonna get it dialed here, and it'll
I think
be
you've just
very
about had
automated.
it.
When
I think you're that close. I think
I'm
you're
getting closer. I played a lot last night, Jacob.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think I literally do. I think you're that close too.
so I'm gonna put. So here's the project moving forward is. I need to sit down and just brainstorm. What would a perfect, what would the optimal media store for me look like? And then once I come up with that vision, make the prompt in my current eBay store or whatever it is, eBay chat, the custom GPT, help me get here. What do I need to do from where I am right now to build to this? This is my optimal. What I would in a perfect world, this is what it would be. How do I get there? And what steps do I need to take? What plans do I need to and let it go? Yeah, so the FBA makes more sense if you're going to do videos. I mean, $9.99 is $4.50
But it
gross
won't.
profit.
It'll be dead. I mean, what he's saying makes sense. If you're merchant fulfilling it, in some cases it could make sense. Well, I don't know. No, not with the
No, he's straight FBA. It's FBA.
I don't see how you make that with the $1.80 plus the fee plus the
So
shipping.
so
I mean,
99. What is
$50?
the Blockbuster? Do you have a limit about what you will send in the FBA? Because that's one of the things with FBA media is if it's below a certain rank, it never should go to FBA. The fee.
2 mils high.
Does
I
that
don't know.
mean
I
that
don't
fee
know
doesn't
books.
get charged if it's merchant fulfilled, just
I
if
don't
it's
know
I
books.
used to stay
I
under
could get like
50,000 for
I'd be
media.
at like 100,000 to 200,000 rank on media, and other than that, it's probably not
On
even worth it.
DVDs, when I was doing it on Amazon, I was 50,000.
Yeah.
Sometimes more, depending on the DVD.
Books might be a different animal. I haven't done a whole lot of books.
Yeah, so the category of look at some of your charts. The size of the book category is way bigger.
I don't think you have that. Do you still have that $1.80 fee with books? I don't remember.
I think so.
I think it's.
It's been a while since I've sold any of that stuff there, but
I haven't even started with DVDs yet. I'm like, let me get good at CDs. I already know vinyl.
I see
Yeah.
in my local market, it's much easier to find DVDs than it is CDs. So
I mean, it's
I've
not
been,
finding.
I've been
Them
picking
not
up a
here
lot of
yet.
DVDs.
It's the you know.
And so this is this is all the information that I'm going to kind of come up with, and I might even. So I'm trying to switch from chat to Claude because I think Claude's the better. The problem with Claude is Claude doesn't have a lot of image ability. It is raw
Chat has been
number.
really good with images lately.
Yeah, chat made the thumbnail. Did y'all like the
I do like that thumbnail.
chat made that thumbnail? I just said, hey, this is the title of the show. Make me suggest a thumbnail. And
More like a dragon than a dinosaur, but whatever.
okay, so nobody's even asked me that question. So Dusty or somebody wanted to know about. You haven't even mentioned the moon, and I gave y'all a clue in the title, and y'all have not even asked me about the title. What the hell? I'm so disappointed in you, Dusty. I gave y'all 97 people in here. I appreciate it, all y'all. Hit the like button. I never say that. Hit the like button, so other people can enjoy my insanity. Look at the title, and there you go. You have been lied to your entire life. There's no such thing as a dinosaur.
Son of a bitch. I mean, sorry, excuse me.
Dinosaurs, the term was invented in the 1840s. Did y'all realize that? Nobody walked around. Okay, well, I would tell you that nobody walked around in like the 1200s talking about dinosaurs, but I really don't think the 1200s existed. There's a thousand years they added.
They had to have.
That is
existed.
another topic. The adding of time to justify
That's for
the time.
Friday.
That's a Friday topic. You know, maybe we'll delve into that Friday. But you
Okay,
know, the term. How do you explain? How do you trick people into believing there never were dragons?
Conspiracy.
Let's call them dinosaurs, and there you go.
it's probably Latin for big reptiles or something like that.
I
But
stuck that right in the title, right in the thumbnail, and not a soul says a word. Man,
Okay, Scott, I got a serious question for you. Despite what everybody says, you are a very smart reseller.
Okay, what do you need, Tom?
Okay?
Sounds like
Okay.
Chris.
You're messing with all this $3 and $2, $4 profits off of this stuff.
Make you holler.
Could you, let's say, take a month, and in that month, you're on the road again, but you're looking for the waterless cookwares lids that sell for $150. All this stuff that you find that's people really doesn't think about, but you spend a lot of money. I mean, that cost a lot of money. Fuck you, Kent, and the horse you rode in on. I'm sorry, Stu, if you're still in here. I am so sorry. That's
what about
Friday.
Marcia?
Is Marcia in here? Marcia, I am so sorry. I apologize.
so first of all, I don't want to go on the road because my thoughts on that have not been the same since since this person here.
Lovely picture.
Since she got sick and beat cancer, I'm not willing to take time away.
Right.
I just am not. You get to this age and you realize how important shared time is with your loved ones and friends and family. Speaking of that, I have to make an announcement. We voted last night, and Harlan and Marcia are borderline going to be probationary members of the Wing Club because they've missed 2 weeks in a row.
Oh my goodness. They always say don't make the same mistake twice in a row, right?
Their status is just slipping. I don't know if Harlan has just moved on from us because
he's in love.
Better people to hang out with. It's just terrible.
No, that's probably true.
Well, he's in love and he wants to spend.
He's definitely got prettier people to hang out with.
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
I mean, hell, us old folks. He definitely did upgrade there. I'll give him that. This one I had Marcia's here. We missed those guys last night, but so Marcia's talking. She made a comment. She's talking about it. It did a good AI did good with you and Joe. So Joe is going back to work this week, but Joe's a reseller here. He's a nurse here as well. We were sitting over there. He's had knee surgery, so at their auction, Marcia's like, "I need a picture for social media," and we both looked at each other. We both went. And so she has a picture of both of us flipping her off, and she takes it and she goes, "I needed it nicer." And so she sends me the damn picture of me and Joe doing this. I'm like, yes. That's when I started messing with you, Tom. It's all Marcia's fault. I started messing with you.
Can we see that picture somewhere?
She sent it to me, I thought. Whether I can find it or not.
You say he's a nurse? Or she's a nurse? You said Joe.
What is it? It's not straight nurse. It's a nurse something. Joe, what's your title?
I have two nieces that are both nurses.
And yeah, there it is.
You're a nurse practitioner.
Oh,
she
that picture was
makes good money.
That's so nice.
That That was us flipping her off and chat, and it changed it to that.
And John says AI won't change the world. Look at that.
I know, right?
Anyway, she wants a new car. One of them wants a new car, and I think she's working 10 hours a day,
Yeah, that's what he's a
7
nurse.
days a week.
He's a nurse practitioner. That's what he is.
Oh, he makes good money.
Yeah.
Because he's one of the people that you usually see if you go into the doctor's office.
Well, he works mid overnights at one of the hospitals. But
That's
yeah.
what Amanda does, and they're like, you can work as much as you want to, because that's a job. If you got a kid that's looking at college and whatnot, that's where they need to go to.
Yeah, Joe's a smart guy. And Cheryl says most nurse practitioners are smarter than the doc. He's
Absolutely.
extremely knowledgeable. He's an outstanding individual.
My niece, that's the nurse, the oldest of the two. She's a nurse practitioner, and she says the doctor says, "What do you think?" More than he says, "Well, I think we need to do this." So
1,500 pictures. What?
I have a lot of respect for him, being that I have a niece that's one.
That's a. But it's Tom. At the end of the day, you just have to what you feel. I would consider more of doing that kind of stuff, but the fact that you know List Easier has changed the game and made. I had the same opinion. You can watch this show, go back and look. I would have the same opinion you did about lower sales and building a media store. I would never do it. Dave and I've had this conversation because it wasn't worth investing the time.
Right.
And until somebody smart like a Josh and Super Dave
Yeah.
and for God's sakes, I did not realize this until last week. The power of the writing of List Easier. The head programmer and one of the partners in the company wrote some of the code that they're faking the moon landing on. For God's sakes, how smart did he have to be to come up with faking the moon landing?
That's supposed to put it that way.
I'm not saying anything bad about the business model of listing a bazillion CDs and DVDs and whatnot. I'm just saying, I was just asking because you are very in tune to all of this stuff, and you see stuff on shelves that most people will walk by.
If I didn't have an over inventory problem, Tom, I would be looking at, I should be sourcing all the way to Nashville and back. I mean, if you really needed the,
Not necessarily.
do I even want to look at a picture from Kent? And it's just out of, I designed that, right? Like yesterday, I listed 1480 or whatever the number was and stuff. And it was all stuff that I had here. I mean, there's a bag of golf clubs over there. I listed 8 golf clubs yesterday, and I can't even tell I took golf clubs out of them. And I've got 2 more of those bags over at storage. Just money. The one golf club I sold yesterday was an $87 for.
I got to get my golf clubs listed.
They're just hanging over there. They're just hanging. There's 2 full sets of golf clubs at the building.
I got probably 30 golf clubs out in the garage and another 10 in the house that I haven't listed yet. And they're all good Callaway, Ping.
Yeah, I'm scared to look at this.
Tailor-made.
Hey, Blockbuster, what are you paying for a 50-pound box to Amazon?
Anybody local want to buy a bunch of golf clubs?
This is what we think about the moon landings.
They don't mean shit, Amazon.
It's not all of them because, like Johnny's main cancer doctor, that he's an incredible. The surgeon, he's got great bedside manner. He's a really smart guy. I mean, McGee is one of my all-time. I mean, she's had her whole collection of doctors. The one who last operated her back, I would put him up there. His level as a surgeon, you're one of the best in Wilmington, one of the best in the state of North Carolina. His bedside manner, about as good as that microphone. So that, it's the same. You can't just make a broad brush about all doctors are this. It's the same thing as saying all resellers are this. You know, when you use the word all, or even when you use the word most, just you can't use the word most because then you're assuming every nurse practitioner is as good as the one you've had dealing. The problem is most people see. The problem is most people can, because the nurse practitioner is the one you deal with a lot and has consulted with a doctor, you mistake their personal relationship and the information they have loaded into them by someone else before they get there as being their own personal knowledge. So it's hard to determine, you know.
Scott, Joni's doctors are probably the same way. Roberta can have, she can start feeling out of sorts, and she'll call her transplant doctor, and he'll say, you know, give me your symptoms, and how much are you taking of this med? And she'll tell him, he'll say, well, up at, you know, point 5, and wait a couple of days and call me back. And usually it fixes it. You know, it does what it does because Joni's on meds too, and it's probably getting changed.
Johnny's nurse practitioner suggested she get the shot, and I'm like, you know, let me give my reason in the doc and see what he says. If you don't feel comfortable, don't do it. That's what I'll tell you. You know, so you get, you know, all these same people who you think are or whatever suggested you get a shot that no matter what Chat GPT tried to tell me yesterday was a, you know, it was a monkey wrench in the world. It not just the U.S. This is we're talking worldwide. Yeah, it's but general. That's where you get in trouble is broad generalizations of saying all of this, all of that, most of this, most of that. You just can't, you know.
Yeah.
It's that stereotyping, that generalization is where most people with their answers get in trouble.
Would you say most people?
Okay, all people. Every now and then, you know, you got to say most because there's like that 1/3 of 1% that might have been right,
Yeah.
and that makes it not all. Because for every good example, how many people can stand here and give you bad examples? It's yeah, that's it. The quality of care is personal care and quality of care are not the same.
Why does my Starlink go down every morning at about between 3:30 and 4 a.m. Eastern time? Is it?
It hates
Because
you.
it's going behind the moon?
This it must be some dip in the atmosphere where the weather balloons are carrying the satellites around.
Okay, that's what I was figuring. Yep.
How come we don't see all these satellites hanging off of weather balloons?
You mean airships?
I mean, and the thing is too, they threw that picture out there, and I told chat, I'm like, is this thing fake? And they go, oh no, this is a picture from so and so. I'm like, it said it was from Artemis 1. I'm like, that's the picture from Artemis 2. You can't even identify which and where it came from, but yet
The cloud
you're telling me it's. I'm like, where are all the satellites? Well, they're too small to show up. I'm like, they are shiny objects. You would at least see a gleaming of one of them some freaking where. There are 14,000 of them supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
Or how many satellites more than that? How many?
Did you see where the cloud cover across Africa was exactly the same on both pictures?
Yeah, they're trying to say that was a hoax, that they're using the wrong. They're using the wrong picture. I don't.
Sure. Okay. All right. Well, it was put out by the New York Times, the picture they were using. So who knows? We'll say that.
But that's the answer to whether it being a hoax or not. No, I saw it for sure.
Pretty funny.
Well, actually, all of this is fake because we're living inside the matrix, and so we really don't exist.
We're all
just
in the simulation.
Yeah, we're all like micro simulations running inside of the matrix.
Yeah, and the problem too, 99 is so many nurses think they know more than a doctor when they only have, you know, if a doctor's got thousands of patients, you know, if you're in a hospital setting and that nurse may interact with that doctor, you know, once, twice a week on 2 or 3 patients, you don't know the breadth of their knowledge from their training. So
We've never dealt with any MPs in the
it's it's
hospital.
it's the same ones that tell you that pharmacists are smarter than doctors because of they know the interactions of drugs. Well, you're talking about apples and oranges,
Yeah,
and that's a lot of is too many people e- e-
that's
equ- e- equate the level of intelligence and knowledge based on the situation. Whenever most of the time you're dealing with, you know, I would expect the nurse to know, better about different things than the doctor. It doesn't mean one is smarter than the other. It
Right.
just means that they are in their specialized fields. They are no more knowledgeable in their specialized fields versus.
that's the reason you should always go to the same pharmacy. You should always go to the same pharmacy because your pharmacist is supposed to keep up with possible interactions and stuff like that,
But
and that's their
it's
job.
also too. It's how do you equate this back to reselling? It's also very hard to say that one content creator is better than the other because everyone's business model is so completely different. And what's his name, Mr. Whiteboard, can be 100% exactly right about what he's talking about private label, and it have nothing to do with my media business or my sell anything business. And so the fact that you equate one as better than the other, as one is not of this versus a not of that, is where you get in trouble and where you make people mad and where you try to get clicks because you know your social media presence is dull without stealing someone else's. It's comparison, folks. Comparison is the death. It kills. You want to kill your motivation. You want to kill everything about the way you do your business. Keep comparing yourself to others and make that the most important part of your evaluation of your business. That's the one nice thing about using an AI model is they take a lot of that emotion out. If you ask it to tell you whether this is a good or bad, and you've got it set up with tell me the truth and don't fluff and all that stuff, it'll give you a analytical answer which you can base an opinion on versus you know somebody who turned the camera on and gives you their opinion. Can you learn from the person with the camera? Absolutely, but you've also got to do your own filtering where the AI does the filter. Believe in the dinosaurs. I believe I believe in the dragons. You're right. Let's go.
Oh my god! Oh my god! What's
Look,
it? What is
man.
the
Look,
old saying? One size doesn't fit all, or something like that, or something to
man.
that point.
Who left the door unlocked to let Kevin come in? What the hell?
He's slumming it.
Oh no.
I know. Kevin, you're gonna ruin your reputation hanging out on this show, Kevin. They're gonna think that we can't believe you've gone over there with the nuts.
Lag, you still have dinosaurs on your Y
Uh,
front.
I'd hate to see your building just be like some ironwork, and they go, "Why did you never finish that building, Kevin?" Well, somebody saw me hanging out with Beard, and damn it, my whole
There goes
social
the
media,
neighbor.
my whole social media went to hell. You're gonna
Look
call,
where my social media is.
man. I didn't
There's
insult
proof.
Teresa or nothing today. What are you gonna call me for?
I know, right? I don't know that he warrants a call. He didn't do anything.
You got me in trouble with Teresa, and I'm cussing you out. Um, no, Mike, I don't. I don't like it lying to me. That's one of the best things you can do is to tell these. Um, mine's called it. Cause if when I was reading you the answer, how did it put the um, reality? It uses the term reality, and I'm like, I told it to be ruthless, to no fluff, to tell me the truth always. I can take it. If my ideas are bad, you can tell me. Don't sugarcoat anything. That's why, and I also told about keeping the shortness answers. Uh, so that's why it immediately starts out with telling me that Seller Amp is best in your use case. Notice what it didn't say. It didn't say seller amp is better than keeper
Yeah. This was better for you.
because it has. Man, this chat's been going on since January, I think 18th or 17th, whenever I started it, or maybe it was 8th. It's got all that history of me and all of it that stored, and so if it had the same thing with Jacob, it probably would say keeper just because of the way.
And it would tell me neither because my business isn't on that level.
Oh Lord. Kent, you're just now saying it. Man, nobody wants to sell your hats and stuff, Kent. Damn. But that's an apples and oranges. Kent and I sell very little to similar. I've got a hat here or there. Kent sells clothing. He likes that kind of stuff. I can't stand clothing.
I like selling hats, but not
That
clothing.
it's hard to. Better is a term that. Yeah, there's no better. It's just different.
Applicable.
So I'm using a project. So
I've been using projects more than just.
I have a
everybody.
project set up as my store. It's called my store name, Zilke's Odds and Ends. That's the business, and so there are 4 chats in there. There's the business ops strategy and the business ops tracking. The tracking, because putting the numbers every day into the strategy, it would lose memory on the numbers even a little bit. Some of the old when I first started, it doesn't do it as much anymore. So I have one it gives me formatted and copy paste. So I type it in there, it puts it all in the format, and I copy it to the other one, and then we carry on. But that's just strictly so that I can keep numbers. And then there's one for eBay customer service tips because I'm trying to be more professional, and I'm currently failing at that right now.
You should just default to go to ChatGPT every time when you get a customer question.
And there's an old one about YouTube. I've been using Claude more for YouTube to write scripts and things, even though I've got 4 scripts written and I haven't recorded any of them yet. Oops, sorry.
I've got to run to an eye
Okay,
care. I'll see you guys later. Have a great day.
See you, Tom.
Take the car, Tom. Take the car, even though it's a...
So Joe says he's an acute care nurse practitioner. So there you go. Joe, ain't nobody thinks you're cute. So there you go. You see how Joe is? Joe thinks he's cute. So I've had a couple of doozies of customers, and so I'm changing my mind a little bit. I need to run this through my thing. So y'all can tell me that I'm completely wrong, and I'm all right with that. In answering back on these negative, when you have a customer that's completely wrong, and you do everything you're supposed to do, and then you get negative on top of that, where has anyone defended the seller? If you look at read the negative, to me it comes across as a double whammy. If you read the negative feedback, you go, damn, well, this seller, whatever. At some point, I've chose humor to defend myself. So I had a customer. I made a mistake. Okay, so damn it, Josh, are you in here? Josh made a mistake. So I sold a. Do I have it? I think I got it right here. That's the wrong one. I sold a sample size of a lotion. It's a half ounce. I didn't catch it. The list easier listed it as an ounce. And so the person sends me a message saying, "Hey, this is an ounce." I'm saying, "Hey, sorry about that. Hey, what can we do about it?" I'm like, they paid $13 for it. I'm like, I can either give you $6 and whatever the half is, $6 and 50 cents back, or you can return it. Those are your choices. And again, I'm sorry about the mistake. I didn't even throw List Easier in the bus or any of that stuff. I just said a mistake. She comes back and says, "I think I deserve $8." I'm like, No, the
For
fuck you
why?
don't, because now you getting $8 means that I wouldn't make any money on this anyway. This was part of a bulk buy, and I wouldn't have listed without List Easier. And now the $13 item I sent, you want to cost me $14.50. I'm like, I don't find that acceptable. I know you had two choices, so I'm assuming you want to return it. Please just open a return. It'll be free to you. It'll send it back as soon as I get it. I'll give you a complete refund. And so this is what the bitch says. Let's read the negative
I'm
feedback
sorry.
I got. Bearded Picker. Negative feedback. Sorry, it's gonna take me just a second to navigate over here. So she says the listing said 1 ounce, and what I received was half an ounce. The seller did apologize, would not settle on half of the original price from me to keep the item. He did approve the return and pay for return shipping, but then again, it was his mistake, so I would have expected that to happen. Okay, so let's see here. She's just lied. I offered her half price.
I
She has
had
lied.
similar.
She has lied because you know what her half price was? She wanted $8 back. You know, I understand
wanted half.
in the grand scheme of things, I should have just done this and not have to deal with this. But we're here. So her $8, 13 in no world is 8 half of 13. You know,
Did she pay shipping on top too, or
that was free shipping.
Free shipping.
what about? She's probably adding in all the tax and all that stuff.
$13.14 total.
Tells you that on-
$13.14 total. And so here we
Maybe
go.
she just doesn't know how to do math.
So here's my response. I took this and really worked with this in my brain, and here's what we came up with. I apologize. Offered a solution, half refund or return. She demanded more than half, so that means she made the decision to return. Do yourself a favor. If you are not perfect, block this person ASAP. The item was $13. 8 is not half. The math ain't mathing. There you go. There you go. I have told you the truth of what happened, and I threw humor in there too. There you go.
I had a similar one, but it went a lot smoother than yours. I sold a Webkins that had the code on it still for $40 some. Anyway, $44. But I found a hole in it.
I believe I ended to flip it to Sarah. You're right. I'm done. There's no more. There's no more partial returns on any of my stores now. It'll now be. I am so sorry about that. I offer free returns. Send it back.
By the way, you can write no partial returns in your listing. It doesn't mean that's legit, but you don't have to do it. I just, as soon as they ask for a partial refund, I say eBay suggests that I take the item back and give you a full refund when it's returned. I never give a partial refund. And then I put that on eBay, so that makes them think that's eBay policy.
Yeah, I should have made smarter decisions, Mike. I give you that. I tell you, we're not all perfect, but you know, once I have made the stupid decision, I am going to compound it with fun and humor. Okay, so here's
by that point,
okay,
right?
so here's the okay. So same thing happened on the other store, on Crimson Stacks. Let's go over to the old stacker here. We have we have the one negative feedback here, so we're going to go over this one. The person sends me a message saying, you know, I clean and inspect every disc. Said the game didn't work. I said, hey, I'm sorry about that. Send it back, because I didn't believe him. I said, send it back. The negative feedback was, I'm sorry about that. Generally doesn't happen. Please send it back for a complete refund. That's what I told them. And they said, oh, but we don't want to pay to ship it back. I'm like, I've got free returns. Just send it back. Sent a scratched up non-working disc and wants us to pay to ship it back. I have proof it doesn't work. And so, you know, I didn't offer. All I did was say send it back. You know, but this person wants me to give it to him free. So my response to this one is, proof this person is a liar. The entire store, every single item has free returns. I explained this, but they could not understand it. I bet the game even plays too.
My wife had one. If you're a clothing seller, you've probably had this at some point, but she had one where this thing smells like smoke. And I told her to write that this was my grandfather's suit. He wasn't a smoker, that kind of thing. She didn't write it. But anyway, she just explained that if she has free returns, send it back. Guess what? Crickets. Because they said they sent it to their dry cleaners and all that. It's the oldest clothing seller or buyer scam in the book,
Yep.
Like, it's stupid. But if you tell them to send it back, chances are you'll either get it back,
But
or you won't, and they'll leave you a negative feedback or nothing.
See, the problem with the second one in the media store is I enforced my policy. I told them, hey, just send it back. What they wanted from me was to give it to them for free.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
They wanted it for free. Folks, I've only got one box of video games. I sell one video game every other week. I remember selling this game. I remember when I looked at it, if it's got a mark on it, I run it for a minimum 20 seconds through the little machine. It had nothing on it. I didn't touch it. It went right in the box and out. It wasn't covered in scratches and all this crazy. That's an absolute lie. The problem is I don't have an employee. Okay, so Jacob's technically an employee. He does all the listing. He doesn't ship anything. I touch every single item that goes out of here. So when they tell me that it's whatever, I know that's a lie. That is them trying to get over. So I said, just send it back. They said they didn't want to pay for shipping. I said, no problem. It's free. Send it back.
So next time lead with, hey, we have free returns. That's the first thing you say.
I put that in there.
Well, apparently they didn't read that or didn't care.
Do you know what Amazon's doing now with the message board?
No.
They're actually tracking your conversation history and rating you based on it. So your metric will get worse the more times you engage with the person.
So there's no winning.
You're had a shipping problem, and you're trying to say, "Hey, look, you need to go to the post office. It's still at the post office." That type of scenario didn't get delivered to their mailbox. Or something.
So what am I supposed to do with the one about the game? Am I supposed to go, and make some nice politically correct statement about, I'm sorry about your whatever? No, you're ignorant, and everybody who ever sees that needs to look at it and go, that's the difference. Is, and the way I see it is, do you see a seller who has just told you that in a funny, comical way that he has free returns on everything? The customer is absolutely wrong in this thing, and all they had to do was send it back, and the seller is taking care of them. Or is he dealing with somebody who is so damn ignorant that doesn't understand free returns on every single item is free returns on every single item? And so that's the difference. Is I am not going to bend over and pucker up for somebody like that. Same thing with the other lady who left me. She was completely taken care of, and she went out of her way to leave me negative feedback and then to lie in the feedback. I'm not going to bend over and let everybody who ever sees that go, well, he must be a horrible seller. He wouldn't even give her half price, and it was half an item. They're not going to see that. They're going to see this lady tried to extort this man for more money, and there you go.
I've been doing the same thing. The guy that left me negative feedback, it was neutral, but I copied and pasted the question I asked him. Why would you leave me negative feedback when I sent you exactly what you ordered?
See, John Jones, the problem is this: if I'm the potential buyer, most people don't reply to those, or they give such a wish-wash.
Nobody's gonna read that anyway.
Even if they do, if I'm gonna buy something from, I'd rather see the seller's got a pulse and pays attention to his business versus, because on both my replies, you see a seller who was offered to take care of that buyer, and the buyer's being the asshole. I have the crafting of those has put the onus on the people reading that going,
I've been told,
maybe that buyer's an idiot. It comes across.
Told being an eBay seller is just a hobby anyway. So what's the difference?
Yeah, it's just a hobby. I'm just a scum hobbyist anyway.
Scumbag hobby.
If you're going to leave negative feedback for stupidity, you're going to be my entertainment.
I used to be super I'm professional in the messages, but not so much in the comments on the feedback.
And the messages, ChatGPT makes them all.
Yeah, I'm professional in there because eBay will definitely look at that if there's a question. But on the feedback, fuck it, I don't care.
And to be honest too, the one with the half. ChatGPT said, "Don't mess around." I offered, if you're going to do it, do this. Said, but I would suggest not messing around with partial refunds. and I should have listened. So that was my own damn fault.
I would
You know,
agree on that. Like you should have just steered it towards the return and bounced.
it's going to be the return,
Well,
and
I
that's going
had
to be
like
it.
that
I know you wanted
Webkins
to do it, but
the Webkins I sold the other day had a hole in the back, and I noticed it as I was preparing to ship. So I contacted the customer and offered the half off,
that's
and
different.
or to cancel the order. I could have just said, "Hey, listen, I found a hole in it. We can cancel this order." But I still made the sale. Instead of $44, it was $22. But I found it in the Goodwill bin, so it cost me $1. You know.
Let's see. Have I had? If I've had sales, that wasn't me. If I've had sales, I'll hang up on y'all.
Oh, that was my doorbell going off.
Oh Lord, I've sold something, and I immediately get a message back. What do you want to? I sold
I
a
bought
memory.
this accidentally. Can you cancel it?
Here comes a message. Are y'all ready? Hey, I
Not,
just want to
not
say
that
if
big
there's
a
any
hole,
way
but I-
somehow get here before the 13th, it'll be so much. God, can we?
Ask these
Hey,
questions before you buy it.
there's no punctuation. Hey, I not capitalized. Just want to say if there is any way this can somehow get here before the 13th, it would be so much appreciated. Thank you so much. Anyways, even if not.
So you know how you respond. Well, I've been responding with on the media store. We're a top rated seller.
I
All
can't
things get
guarantee.
shipped within 24 hours, and just leave it at that.
How
I
far do y'all
always tell them
think?
I can't guarantee what the date they get it is, while also saying I'll ship it today or whatever. But
It's going to
I
Davie,
can't guarantee
Florida.
anything.
What's the date? They want about a 13th. I don't even know what the day is.
It probably won't. It depends.
It's the
Um,
8th.
This is the media,
Depends
right?
on how you-
okay, so this brings up another question. How bad are most eBay sellers that you can't get it there from Alabama to Florida?
You should be okay even with media on that.
I was thinking for me, yeah, might not make it, but
For you, maybe not.
Oh, they don't.
I have
Where is it?
good luck with my media. It tends to get there the same amount of time as Ground Advantage, so I don't have any problems with it.
Let's see. I got to find out what drawer it's in so I can show y'all. It's going to ship today because drawer 7.
My post office used to separate out all the media mail and send it separately, but now they don't. So it just goes.
I think it all just goes. I think media mail is
It
just.
didn't used to. It used to be that they separated it all out for
I
some
don't think.
reason.
I don't think it is now. I think it's just going straight
Hey,
to
look.
Ground Advantage.
Now it just goes.
Are y'all shocked? Look how fast Beard found an item.
Oh, that's that old little Sony. I forget what they
I
call
remember
those
those.
guys.
Okay, so here's your hint for us going away. We're leaving y'all in about 30 seconds to a minute. All this stuff, even if you don't think it's worth anything, memory has gone through the roof on everything.
Yeah.
So this little guy here is a memory adapter, which is worth $16 by itself. These things are worth $16. These adapters.
I guess I better. I have a few. There's
It's
one
a
right
one,
there.
it's a 1 gigabyte card, and we sold it for $25. That's $25 right there, folks.
Memory stick duo adapter. That's what this thing is.
Did
It's
you
worth-
see where crucial memory just went out of the retail market?
There it is.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, so that means all crucial RAM and solid state drives, whatever was manufactured is all they're going to make. They're going strictly to the commercial and to the data
Oh,
center
really?
slash
I love Crucial.
crucial
They
completely
were
out
top
of the
of the
retail
line.
market.
Damn.
Yep.
All
All right, I gotta run, guys.
The
Oh,
SSD
later.
in my
Y'all
Mac
gotta
is a
run.
Crucial.
Hey, 95 of y'all hanging out this long. No matter what the eBay people say, we appreciate you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Oh yeah, we should put up the link for Friday. A couple people were asking. Here, I'll put it up.
It's gonna be on the other channel.
Here, I got it.
I don't have it.
Don't miss us on Friday. Just come here. You got to go to BP number 2.
Friday.
I gotta go number 2.
Friday we would discuss the extra 1,000 years that they added to the timeline.
Right.
Yeah, that's
The real topics. Friday.
You guys wonder why I don't show up on Fridays.
Yeah.